Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we are going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis, mainly technical analysis over on Wish, because it did move quite a lot today, not so much gapped, but is up around 37% as we came into the close, and we can see this was about 12.20. Some release came out and we just absolutely spiked. And yeah, went up 30+% on this news. So what are we paying attention to? What are the key levels we're paying attention to going forward? So as always, on the left we have a 6 month, on the right we have the 1 year. This is going to always give us our key technical levels. And again, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know this is how we always really do our technical analysis over here. So what we can see is our first deviation over on the 1 year. We can see this was hit. And as expected, really, we pulled back off this level, but we can also see the other first deviation was hit, and this one we did actually kind of break out of. So this was kind of a bit of a weird case, and it's kind of just a thing we'll go through now, so you can be more prepared if you see this in future. So if we go over to just kind of get a intraday chart to make it a bit clearer. So what we can see is obviously this release came out, you can see volume spiked. Whenever you see this, this is not when you want to be taking short bias trades. So obviously we can see it came straight in. If you did short it, I mean, you could have got out break even, but again, you would have been holding through quite a bit of pain. I mean, we can see quickly just how much that is, around 12%. So obviously not something we'd be looking for, but I mean, should be quite self-explanatory. But obviously when you see this kind of volume, you don't want to be kind of shorting into this. You more want to be seeing volume start to decline as it's coming into these key levels, because then it's showing again the momentum is getting weaker. And a great way you can kind of see this is looking at the RSI, or really any kind of momentum indicator, whatever one you prefer, and you start seeing, is it starting to diverge? If you're starting to see price continue up but the momentum getting weaker, can be a good indication coming into these levels that we're going to be more of a short bias. But really, one easy way to trade these is kind of just not to trade them at all. If you see kind of a random spike like this where it just kind of happens out of nowhere and flies, it's safer just to stay out. You'll probably lose more money than you'll make it in these kind of markets. Again, if you're shorting these small caps, it's much easier just to get the gappers in the morning, because again, then they've done their crazy movement kind of pre-market, and then once they open up, obviously you're going to get the first kind of 5 minutes of where, you know, traders are, if they've already holding it, they're getting out, new traders buying in or whatever. But then it's going to be a lot more kind of clean coming into the levels to be trading. So I just wanted to note that in case you were maybe looking to short these levels and just going forward in case you see it again. But we can see, yeah, these two levels, at least intraday, didn't work all that well, and that's just because, again, it wasn't moving so much reasonably. It was just coming off kind of unexpected news. So if we, though, do continue higher, again, now the big announcements happened, the big kind of reaction has happened. So now if we start going into next levels, it will be a lot smoother, and it will be a lot easier to kind of catch these pullbacks. So coming into 125, that's going to be our next resistance. Coming into 155 is the next, then 175, 215 to kind of 221. These ones are quite close, so I would be using that much more as a zone than individual levels. And then 275 is going to be that final level. Now what's really nice on Wish, if it does start spiking further to the upside, it's going to be quite a potential easy short, and the reason for that is all the key deviations are also on key psychological levels. You've got the 125, the 150, the 175. These are what we would, you know, if there is no deviation levels and we're maybe looking to short the intradays, that is one thing we'll be looking at, the key psychological. So when you see the psychological and the deviations lining up, it's just going to make that trade even more likely to work out, just basically make it high probability. So those are our key resistances. Again, they don't always have to be short bias, depending on what kind of trader you are. You may use these levels differently. I personally use them, especially on the small caps, as if it breaks out to these, I'm looking at them more short bias, but you can also use them as long bias levels. And how do you do that? For example, the 127, if we end up breaking to that, we end up breaking through. What you want to be watching is for a breakthrough, come back to test as a support, and if it holds, we're probably going to continue higher. And again, today was kind of a clear example of that. We broke through, we pulled back, this held as a support, and then we skyrocketed to that next deviation. Again, broke through, came back to come back and retest it, couldn't quite hold, ended up breaking through, come back to retest it, and kind of the failure. So that's kind of what we'd be looking at. Again, is Wish something that offers options? It does, so that can make it a bit easier of a trade because you can actually be hedging positions. So if I was looking to short buy small caps, this is one I'd be a bit more kind of willing to trade. From a support side, though, what are we paying attention to? We have support basically, and the only support I'm paying attention to at 33 cents. This is statistical mean, but considering it's statistical mean, it's more used as a target instead of a kind of entry level, and the reason for that is this is kind of considered fair value. So if I'm trading off strictly a technical standpoint, there is no trading edge to be buying in at this level. So really, to me, like the majority of small caps, I'm not looking to buy them at the lows. The way I'm looking to trade them is if there's pumps, I'm just trying to play against it, because I know 9 times out of 10 it's going to come back below that level within a week. I mean, usually within the day, but if not, within the week. So again, usually I wait for option plays on them, just do credit or debit spreads. Quite a high probability way of trading these big moving small caps to the upside. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown on Wish. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out this analysis video.